So we tested out the Skechers Go Trail shoe. We took it out on some mountain trails and even tried it out on some winter streets. And we just want to take a second to share our thoughts and our opinions from one runner to another.
This was an interesting shoe. I'd say the first time I put it on, I kind of liked it in some weird way. It has this, like the sloped heel and sloped toe, made it really interesting for hill running, especially running downhill. And compared to other sort of winter running shoes, it was a softer shoe, which I wasn't expecting. And it looks sort of like quite a heavy shoe, but it was surprisingly light.
I was pretty excited about it because it is, waterproof and it's got some pretty aggressive tread on the bottom, which was pretty cool. And I like to do mountain running, so that was a cool feature. But it's almost immediately after I put them on, I felt really unstable in them. I don't know what it is. I think maybe it's because of the thickness of the sole or the way that it forces you into a midfoot strike. I just found that my knees were always really sore after I ran in them. So I kind of retired them as well after like 35K.
Yeah. But from a value perspective, if you are a beginner trail runner and this is the entry point into the category, I think it's worth it at $120. It just seems like it's a decent value for money. You look at other trail shoes that are a lot closer to $200. And when comparing those two things, if you're really just getting into trail running, these could be the right shoe for you.
You could tell a pair of Skechers a mile away, right? I feel like these ones, maybe it's a color pattern, it is a bit darker, which I think is a good thing for them, because once they start going to these crazy colors and like all these little designs, it gets a little freaky.
I do still think they've sort of missed it on the design of the shoe, and I think that's something I've seen in other models of Skechers also, but this one, I mean, it almost looks like a hockey boot.
For me, I think the major thing to make me want to use this shoe is there needs to be a restructuring in the footbed so that you're not swimming around in them, because there's something to be addressed there. I don't know how to fix it because I'm not a shoe designer, but to just save you from that unstable feeling.
First thing you notice, it's warm. I think my first day running in them, it was really, really cold, but my feet were warm the whole run. Every part of my body got cold except for my feet, which is definitely a plus. But I would say definitely more a plus if I'm hiking as opposed to running.
So one of the things that's super important for me in the winter is having reflective gear. I find just based on life, I end up getting out for runs at 5:30, 6 in the morning, and it's black. It's black outside, and I'm always nervous that I'm going to get hit by a newspaper delivery driver. And so the more reflective gear that I have, the better. And so these shoes actually do deliver on that. So there's sort of these reflective strips here. The mountains are reflective. There's reflectivity on the toe.
I think that it's worth re-examining the insulation of the shoe, because it is so warm and it is so waterproof, which are great things, but I just feel like it needs some more breathability.
If you're just starting to run in the winter, you're going in sort of 2 to 3K increments, this might actually be a perfect entry-level shoe for you.
Yeah, as opposed especially to running with your shoes that you've been running with in the other seasons. You might want to save those and use those specifically for the winter for that low mileage.
It really sucks to have cold, wet feet.
It does.
Right? And so these shoes are waterproof, they are warm, and again, if you're going for 2 to 3K, your whole body doesn't really have the same amount of time to warm up, and so this would actually be perfect for that.